Hey there, Blue Oval Dude back here again. Just kind of looking at this NKB head. I've got it disassembled. This one I have started the work on. I thought, you know what? Maybe I will show video of just kind of what's in this head and what it looks like before I, get all into it. And maybe if someone has some interest, if we got, some people wanting to see some work that's done to it, maybe we can do that, as I'm doing it. But I'll just kind of show you. Haven't done much to this thing yet. So here is the intake valve, one of them from this engine. Supposedly this is an Urson Race Series stainless steel exhaust valve, 202 intake valve. And same thing with this, also from same company, Race Series. It's supposed to be stainless steel. That's a 160. So there's our exhaust, and this is a comp dual spring. There's the inner. It's a 98716 is part number on that. And they also do come with 10-degree locks, which is a nice thing because usually when you're buying a, lower cost head, they don't give you those with them. They give you the little 7-degree ones and kind of skimp you on some of this stuff and give you a cheap spring that you basically have to start over. So if you're not going too extreme on it, this might work for you. So, hey, one last thing before I get into that is this is a part that T-meyer, something that they make. This is for Fords, barring the FE. But it will fit, everything else between 289, 302, 351s, Cleveland, Windsor, M, 460, 400, a lot of Ford engines. So you can take your old oil filter adapter out and you screw this in and you can use a different oil filter if you're looking for performance. And not only is it much larger, so it's easier to get flow into the oil galleries, but the filter that goes on here has a much higher flow rate than a standard Ford filter would. And it's comparable in flow rates to the 51515R, the Race Series Wix filter, except the filtering is actually a much smaller micron. It's like 21 microns, which is, it's like 60 that a Wix racing filter is. So you get better filtering and you get higher flow rates. And from what they say is you get about 10 psi more out of your engine by doing this. So that's just kind of a neat piece that I'd show you guys quick. Alright, so now here's this NKB, new kid on the block, head disassembled. I'll just kind of show you that. Pretty decent finish on it and everything. Flip this over so you can see in the runners a little bit. So here, let me try a little different angle. There, maybe that helps. Not perfect by any means, but it can use some help. But a pretty decent looking head. I mean, I got these for $700. I know I said that before, but I think they're listed for $750 on eBay and off from Skip White off their website. So by the time you rebuild a set of stockers, I mean, you put your springs, locks, retainers, valves, you put your 3-angle valve job, you put will have your machining work done, have new seats and guides put in. I mean, you're going to be up there. You could spend that $700, $2,000 pretty easily by the time you do, you know, all the work to it. You know, converting to from press-in stud to a screw-in stud, you know, or you know, from a bolt-down 5/16 rocker to you know, a 7/16 thread. Yeah, you're going to spend a lot of money. So yeah, I wouldn't run a stock head unless I had to by class rules, because you're just going to spend that money one way or the other. So you might as well do, you know, start with something that's better. So anyway, off about that rant. So we can see that, you know, this has got some areas where it could use some improving. And, you know, there's some sharp edges and lips, and the short turn is not exactly the greatest, and, you know, the guide boss and, you know, things like that. But you know what? This is actually a pretty good place to start from. Or if you're happy with it and all you're wanting is, you know, 260 CFM, you're supposed to do that. Got one on the flow bench right now. So I'm going to see if they actually do move that kind of air that they're saying. But that's for another day. So I'll just flip this over so I can kind of give you an idea of just what I'm doing here. So I've already marked on here. I did not take those juniors out to a 1262. There just wasn't enough meat there. So it's probably closer to the 1250 Felpro gasket that I took it out to. So this is actually marked out to the 1262, and I'm going to be taking all this out of there. As you can see, it's coming out. Those juniors, I put intake tubes in them. You know, there's a lot of stuff that I did to them that no one ever got to hear about or see. But yeah, so yeah, this is, you know, just a rough start on this is all I've got going on here. Haven't done anything inside the bowls yet. You know, usually I'll start in the bowls before I do anything else. And then from there, you know, then I've, you know, like on those juniors, I worked over the bowls, did a flow test. I wasn't happy with it, and so then I moved on and modified the combustion chambers and the push rod pinch and, you know, some other stuff on them. So actually what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to get a little more extreme than I did with the juniors. So this area here, I'm actually going to move the push rod over. And that's what I've got going on here. The hole is actually, I don't know if it's probably smaller than it actually looks, but it's there. So by the time I'm done at this, we're going to have a nice straight shot right to that intake valve. So what I'm doing is I actually have some of the parts here already. Is they don't come with rocker studs, so I guess that's the one thing. It's kind of a bummer, so you don't get those or guide plates, but I want to use the guide plates anyway, and if they came with 3/8 studs, I wouldn't use those anyway. So here's what I'm gonna do. Just one second, let me show you. Here's my rockers. That's the exhaust. You can see that. And there is the intake. I have 150 thousandths offset rockers for that intake. We're going to remove that push rod pinch and even it up so that comes straight out with the 1262, and nice smooth transitions. So that's our rockers. That's how we're going to do that. We also have some guide plates, as you can see. that is offset to match the rockers. So that's how we're going to be doing that. And as far as how I'm going to achieve that, well, here's what I'm going to do. Is this is going to get welded in. So we're going to fill that with aluminum, and you know, we'll try and make that about 80, 100 thousandths thick right there. And from there, then I can you know, just cut away what's not needed and smooth that out, smooth that transition out. So yeah, by the time we're done working on it, it's gonna look just like that. There ain't gonna be anything blocking the way, so we can get that straight shot to that intake valve and get that volume in there. See, this is out of the box. And this is where we're gonna be. So you can see it's pretty significant. And I'm not actually going to take a lot of the floor out because, yeah, the floor doesn't move much air, and you might actually slow stuff down by taking too much of the floor out. So I left part of that on there. You can see it in the line. But that'll give you an idea of what I'm doing with this. And these are going to end up going on a stroked Windsor. So yeah, I really can use the volume. And kind of looking forward to see what these things are going to do when I'm done with them. But hey, hit that like and subscribe button. Give me some comments. Remember, I'm not a professional. This is just my hobby. I just have fun doing this. I'm a Ford guy. I want to help people out. I like doing DIY stuff on my cars and engines and stuff. So I hope I can help someone out and send them in the right direction. And if you've got any questions, I don't know if I can help you or not, but I can try. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.